want to judge it where the mixture shouldn't be too dry because it has too much flavor. Hi everyone! Today is my birthday, and in celebration we are baking a vegan banana bread. This is one of my favorite recipes, especially right now since we're in lockdown or we have minimal movement. It is very simple, and most of the ingredients you will probably find in your home if you're into baking. So the only thing that you have to wait for is the bananas to get ripe enough so you can use them for the recipe. So follow along if you're interested in learning how to make banana bread, vegan banana bread. We'll start off by putting in the wet ingredients first. We'll start off by having some ripe bananas. I use 3 bananas. If they're larger, then you can only use 2. You don't have to use all 3. And remember, the riper the banana is, the sweeter that the banana is going to be. So that flavor of banana is going to be a lot more prominent than a banana that is not ripe enough. So we'll just peel these. Sorry, I can't use one of my fingers. I accidentally cut it today. So, these. Many of us tend to throw our ripe bananas away because we don't like, or I personally don't like eating them, especially because of the texture. So a great way to not throw them away and be useful with them is by making banana bread. And a lot of the ingredients that the recipe asks for, you probably already have at home, since they're pretty basic, especially if you're into baking. So the first step is to mash the banana or the bananas. Probably the most fun out of all the steps. And take a little bit of your stress out on the bananas. We'll be adding some soy milk. I use soy milk, but you can use any other type of milk like coconut milk. Almond milk is also a good option to use. This is unsweetened soy milk. And then the other and that is 1/3 cup. And this is 1/3 cup of coconut oil. You can also use any other oil that you have. I personally like coconut oil, so I'm using that. Next, we're adding some ground up flax seeds. This is like a egg replacer for any vegan recipe. So you ground them up beforehand. Or I'm not sure if nowadays you can get those ground up at the store here in Bombay. We don't get that, so I just buy whole flax seeds and ground them up and keep them in the fridge so they stay fresh for whatever I need them for my baking. So now you just want to mix everything, and of the flax seeds we use 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. Once you have all this mixed up, this is also the time that you want to add any flavoring, liquid flavoring. You can either use vanilla essence or vanilla extract. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those right now, so I won't be adding those. I think the bread itself, because of the bananas, you'll be able to have a nice sweet and banana taste to it, so I don't find it necessary to add any flavoring. Sometimes I add some coffee, whatever coffee I have left over, maybe from the day that I didn't end up drinking, so I'll add that. Next, we will add 1/2 cup of oatmeal. This is old-fashioned oatmeal. It's not the instant kind, so we'll add 1/2 cup of that. And we just want to kind of fold that in with the wet mixture. Next, we will add the sugar. I use organic coconut sugar or just plain cane sugar. So you add half a cup. If you want it a little bit more sweet, then you can add 2 more tablespoons. So I've added, sorry, not half a cup, 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Half a cup will be very, very, very sweet. We don't like things to be too sweet, so sometimes I reduce the amount of sugar that I add. Then we will add some baking powder and baking soda along with some salt. You want to have 1 teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. So this is what's going to make the bread rice. Next, we will add some cinnamon. I have 1 tablespoon of cinnamon here. And this is, again, it's also for a little extra flavor. I like cinnamon a lot, so it goes well with banana bread. And this is a good time where you can also add any other toppings. A lot of people add walnuts or any other type of nut. You can also add raisins, whatever you desire. This is the time to add that. And last, we will be adding our flour. I use regular wheat flour that you get at the grocery store. And this is, you will add around 1.5 cups. I add it not all at one go. I do it in parts. And like I said, sometimes depending on the mixture, depending on your bananas, you may or may not use the entire 1.5 cups. So you just want to judge it where the mixture shouldn't be too dry because it has too much flour. And I already have the mold prepped, so I use this loaf type of mold, and I just covered it with some coconut oil and some flour, and now we'll just add the batter. And maybe about 5 minutes before you're done mixing everything, you want to preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit or 170-ish Celsius. We're not putting it in the oven. Put it in the middle.